So what you guys seeing right here is me attempting to solo the OLT for the first time, and you can just see what just happened when I tried to do that.
Come on, Chad. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Oh no! You dude!
Bruh. 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 Bruh.
Oh!
Bruh.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? So June here, and now I'm back at it with another video. And as you guys see in today's video, we will be talking about the Klaw raid, especially with the gear that come along with it. So we have a lot to talk about, and it's probably going to be a long video. So make sure you guys get some popcorn, get some drinks ready, because we have a lot to talk about when it comes to the new gear. So before we get to the video, if you guys go to enjoy and you guys liked it, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well, so there's a video and always be notified when I upload a video. And most importantly, make sure you guys hit that like button. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
Damn, homie, they ain't ready for this. Scatter shot, I'm working, hurt 'em worse than slitting your wrist. Hit subscribe, smash like, ring the bell, stay tuned. Now without further ado, here's the duel of June. Yeah.
So with the raid coming out on the 30th, we know now that it's going to require 4 players, of course, and the power level required to go in is 150. Now, of course, you can be 150, just get casually to 150, but your build is actually going to matter. It's when it comes to this raid. Of course, they did state that the raid will have more than one boss, and it will have the bosses that come along with this raid will have his own mechanics and puzzles before you even get to the actual boss itself with Klaw. So I like the fact that they are adding different bosses into this raid itself, just to make it more raid-like, different from anything that we have in the game so far, which is pretty nice. And another thing I like the fact that they put in there is the fact is roles are going to matter. It isn't just a straight DPS check, and I like that because currently in the game right now, it's all about damage. It's like nothing really good for that support. You can do support, but honestly, it really doesn't do nothing in the overall scope of things because it's all damage. You know, you can just burn through everything, especially in the OLT, which is currently right now the hardest mission in the game. You could easily burn through that if you got some damage and some players that know what they're doing. It's very easy. So I like the fact that they are doing this because people are going to actually have to switch it up, you know, actually go into there with support with Kamala, because Kamala is a very good support character in this game, and I feel like she will be very effective in this raid. And of course, with other characters, with them being that having their specialties, they can actually bring some things to the table when it comes to the group itself, and just basically just trying to get over the raid itself. So I'm glad that, you know, this is going to actually require some teamwork, because currently in the game right now, you really don't need no teamwork to be honest. And also, we do have some information on the echoes. So they did state that the echoes, when it comes to them, they will have damage resistance, and they will have sets of moves that weaken your hero. And also in the elite version, they will have an upgraded projectile attack that will also weaken enemies, weaken your heroes as well. So you have to like really be good at dodging when it comes to that. So I like the fact that they're switching it up when it comes to the elite version, because they're going to have, it's going to be of course more hard to complete, and they will have upgraded attacks for the enemies itself. And it did state that the enemies, you know, of course from the echoes, they will have take a page from the echoes and just have more damage resistance and new upgraded moves as well. So it's just not the echoes that are getting an upgrade, all the other enemies are getting an upgrade as well, which is pretty nice. It suits the elite version, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, let's get on to the rewards. So this is something I was very happy to see when it comes to the rewards that we're going to be getting. So for the weekly mission chain for the regular raid, we will get the elite, I mean not the elite, the discordant elite, I mean why I said elite, the discordant regular gear that drops from the raid. We will get the melee / range piece for the first one, and for the second one we'll get a defensive / heroic slot. It's basically like the same reward system that they're doing for the Mega Hive, for instance, so you guys can, you know, see the example. And the same thing for the OLT. It's basically like that. And you will get one epic raid exclusive minor artifact. and for consecutive runs for after completing the weekly mission chain for the regular raid, you will get discordant gear with a random slot drop, and you will get 400 fragments, which is pretty nice because of course they did state that once you complete the weekly mission chain, that will actually up your power level, and after the weekly mission chain, once you run the raid again, you will get the drop, but it will drop at your power level, but you could just keep farming it so you get a perfect roll. And once that weekly mission chain does come up and you get the gear from completing the weekly mission chain, you can actually infuse the gear that you got from the perfect roll that you've been farming, and then you can infuse it and have that, you know, perfect roll you've been farming for up there with you when you're trying to get to the elite version of the raid. So it's pretty nice. I like the fact that they're doing this. And the same thing is applied to the weekly elite raid mission chain, but it's a little bit different. Now for this one, you get elite discordant gear for melee / range and defensive / heroic, and you get 2 epic raid exclusive minor artifacts that drop from this. And of course, with consecutive runs after you complete the elite version weekly chain, you will get elite discordant gear, and it'll drop at a random slot, but you will get 600 fragments from completing the raid. So that's pretty nice. I really like the fact that they are adding it where you can just keep farming it for, you know, god roll rolls. That's pretty funny to say right there. So yeah, it's going to just create more replayability for players that actually like to play it and want to get them the good rolls, especially with the perks that I am about to get into, which are interesting. I have to say they are very confusing at first, but once you know you get to explain, once it is explained, you understand it more and more. So yeah, let's get on to the perks. Alright, so let's get into the discordant raid gear. Now this is exotic tier. The attributes that will come along with this is might, precision, valor, and resilience. And the stats effects that come along with this is Sonic and Vibranium. So those are the attributes and stats effects that will come along with it. Now, the discordant gear has 4 different themes when it comes to perks, which is pretty insane. Now, we're going to start off with the first one, which is Sonic Conduit. Now, this is a very long one, so make sure you guys are ready for this. If you guys need to watch this multiple times, that is clear, that's on y'all if you guys want to do that, so you can get like a killer explanation on how this works. So for Sonic Conduit, when a hero is in proximity of an enemy with an active Sonic status effect, the Sonic Conduit buff is sent once to all nearby heroes. The triggering hero counts as sending the buff, and all other heroes affected are receiving. Now remember those words, sending and receiving, because Sonic Conduit is basically a backbone to activate different perks that tie along with Sonic Conduit. And also the Sonic Conduit perk itself drops only on the heroic piece, the heroic slot basically, since it is the backbone to activate all of the perks. So I see why they added it right there, because you know it's the last piece. I understand that. Alright, so this is Future June right here. Now I want to put this in because I did miss a few things. So for the Sonic Conduit, it will drop on the heroic slot, which is correct, and it will be on the 3rd slot of the heroic slot as well. So I want to put that in there. We got some new information from the developer stream on Friday, so I just wanted to put that in there. So you know, that's just a little thing to add in there. So let's continue the video. But of course, with the Sonic Conduit itself, the buff that you send out to the allies is basically you send out a small Sonic status effect to a nearby ally, so they can get the effects of Sonic. Of course, we already know Sonic does give us the intrinsic the intrinsic gain and heroic gain as well. So that's pretty nice to give out to your heroes, so they don't have to actually have Sonic and actually have to be into the up close just to get the Sonic benefits. So you could just be in the back, and if say for instance I'm a Hulk and I activate Sonic on an enemy and I have Sonic Conduit, I could just basically do that and y'all can come near me and I could give y'all the buff so you can get intrinsic gain and some heroic gain. So that's pretty nice right there. Now of course, sending and receiving is a new thing, a new concept that they are adding into this, which is pretty nice. So of course there are hero gear perks that are tied to sending and receiving. So of course you can have sending and receiving all at the same time, but they don't stack to each other. They both are activated though. So if you have perks that relies on you receiving Sonic Conduit and sending out, you can actually have both of those, and you can have perks that are tied to those. So you can have a lot of perks activated at once basically. So to get onto the hero set perks, just to give you guys an example on how it works for sending out, we have an example for Hulk, which is very, very nice. I like the fact that Hulk is getting a new perk. Now, this perk ties onto sending out the buff, the Sonic Conduit buff, out to other heroes. So it's called Granting Aim. Now, this increases your rock damage when used as a melee attack if you're a sender of Sonic Conduit. To give you an example how much the damage buff is, it increases the rock damage when using as a melee weapon by 80%.
Bruh.
Which is insane, because currently for my build right now, I use a bit of the rock, the large debris, as a melee weapon, and I can easily do 100k with it. So imagine that 80% damage increase for just simply sending out the Conduit buff to my other heroes, which is pretty nice. I like that. That really did catch me off guard, because it's so crazy. I started using large debris for Hulk, and they have a perk that is tied to it that I can actually use and get that damage buff from, which is pretty nice. And of course, since this discordant gear does drop with might, precision, valor, and resilience, I could get the might and valor god roll, hopefully. But yeah, that is a current example on how you can actually take advantage of Sonic Conduit. Now, of course, if you don't want to have the discordant gear that basically you have to do Sonic Conduit so you get into the fight, you don't have to worry, because there is Conduit Revival and Lethal Conduit that you can activate without needing the Sonic stats effect as well. So yeah, you don't have to be near a teammate or anything. You can actually activate it yourself, so you don't have to actually just go into the fight, which is pretty nice. But the price to increase the independence with this perk with every grant with a receiver buff, so there is no rescinder. So it's going to be more harder to proc it since you don't have a receiver, or I guess you say a sender, to give you the Sonic Conduit. So it's going to be a mixed bag. We got to see eventually how this really works. But that is like the first perk when it comes to Sonic Conduit, and how it could go into hero theme perks tied to Sonic Conduit. So we better get on to the other stuff. I know that was a lot to discuss and just digest, but that is how it's going to work. But let's get on to the next one. Alright, so another thing that is coming along with the discordant gear is making more status perks more efficient. Now, of course, when it comes to past gear, we know that it only rolls one certain status perk. You know, for missiles, for example, for Iron Man, you can only have certain status for missiles. Then you got to get another gear drop just to get at least another status on lasers, and the same thing for repulsors. Now, for distorted gear, that will be changing. Now, for example, say for instance you have the light combo finisher and signature attack perk types that roll statuses. That's going to be changing. It's going to be making it to one attack type itself. So you could do both, either a light combo finisher or signature attack for Iron Man. You could still apply that same status effect. And I like the fact that they are going this route, because of course, in the game right now, it's too much RNG when it comes to relying on getting that one status perk that has the move that you use a lot to make your build more efficient. But for distorting gear, I like the fact that they're changing this. I wish they could put this into regular gear as well, but it seems like this is only going to be in the raid gear just to show how different it is, so I can understand that. But overall, I like the concept that they are doing with this. And Alex did state that Iron Man distorted range gear is going to be very interesting for people to find out. Now, of course, I think he's teasing on you could do all of your weapons with one stats effect for Iron Man for his lasers, missiles, and repulsors. Now, if that's actually a thing, that's gonna be pretty insane that you can actually do that, to be honest. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty crazy. Now, he did state that when it comes to every new perk made for this gear set, it does not require a percentage chance to activate. They stated that they want to make any combat condition to be more within the player agency, so they can make it more fun for people, I guess you could say. And honestly, the change that they did do, it is pretty nice, so I had to give them a W on that one. I just wish it could be applied to the the current gear that's not distorting gear, but of course, they're trying to make it different from every other gear piece, so I can see why they're doing that. So we're gonna get on to the new gear additions. Now, when it comes to the new gear additions, this comes with the new gear perks that will be dropping with this new distorting gear. Now, he did state that there are several perks that is in the game that are fun and bombastic, aka split shot arrow multiplier for Hawkeye with Operator's Arrow. Now, they stated that, of course, when it comes to it, they want to make it this distorting gear very different from it. So they stated they have added new generic, not generic, more hero specific perks to the sword and gear, and perks that are already existing in the game that are very out there and fun to use. They've put it into the game for the sword and gear as well. And say for instance for Hawkeye, for split multiplier, we already know how OP that is. If you guys want to get that on Hawkeye, you can actually, you have to do the elite raid just to get that to drop. And remember, the sword and gear drops precision and valor. So for the Hawkeye mains, you need to get this. It's gonna make Hawkeye even more OP. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty insane to see on how Hawkeye is gonna perform when someone gets split multiplier with actually precision and valor on it. It's gonna be pretty insane. It's gonna make Hawkeye even more crazier. Now, they did state that they will be having some new additions for Captain America, Iron Man, Black Panther, Thor, Kate as well. Of course, it will not be tied to Sonic Conduit. It just will be hero-specific perks. Now, he did state that Black Panther and Thor will not get entirely new perks in this set, but in case for Thor, since he's already a powerhouse, of course, everybody knows that Thor is the OP Avenger in this game right now. He stated that Black Panther is new and we want to focus more on bringing the other heroes to the standard of interesting perk options. So they stated for Kate and Thor, they're getting more perk options focuses on areas of combat, helping for more player agency. For example, with increasing Thor's melee damage with his hammer, and also for increasing Kate's range damage while she's in overdrive. And heroes for like Black Widow and Captain America will receive more interesting options as well. We have one option that we can actually see, which is called Counter Charge. Performing Counter Strike will activate Captain's Charge buff. Counter Strike is one of Captain America's counters that he can actually do. Once you press do the counter button, or when someone's parry, when you're doing a parry, you press square and you do Counter Strike, if I remember correctly, and then will activate Captain's Charge, which is pretty nice. I like they're adding in more hero specific perks, because those are the things that make the game more fun, to be honest. I like those, like the different things that change up the abilities for the Avengers. You know, like for a clear example with Hawkeye with a split shot multiplier, it makes Hawkeye Bag of Tricks more fun. So I'm glad that they're doing more things like this, to be honest. Now we're gonna get on to the status leak. Now a status leak is insane. Basically, especially with the concept what they're doing and the statuses you can really do it with. So for status leak, basically, if to read off the perk, it states that attacking an enemy that has an active sonic status effect when using vibranium damage sends out vibranium status to nearby enemies. And this can actually roll with different other statuses as well. It can roll with vibranium, cryo, and shock. So for a cool example that Alex gave me, say for instance you have this the Sonic and you want to do shock damage for Thor. Thor can easily do shock damage. So if you throw your hammer and do the do the God strike, where you can just send out multiple lightning strikes just for activating Odin Force, that will actually apply and you will send out shock damage to all other enemies that are nearby them. So it is insane with the capabilities which you can really do with this, which is pretty insane, especially you know how OP Thor is, and some characters how they can manipulate vibranium and shock damage. I can see this being something that is going to be very, very valuable, especially when it comes to the elite raid. So yeah, that is pretty insane. I have to say that Alex was very excited when explaining this one. So I have to see how this is going to look in combat. I feel like just from the description itself, where you know attacking an enemy with sonic status effect, and you know you do vibranium and you send that vibranium status effect to all nearby enemies, that is pretty good. It is pretty good, especially with vibranium increasing your heroic damage and basically it being like a more flashier gamma. It's gonna be pretty nice. Now the last one we do have is another out of the box thing that Alex wanted to do with the gear. Is called Perk Breaker. Now it says that increase the damage from all gear perks by 200%. Now this applies to certain perks. For example, we have payload missiles. And any other type of payload perk, it will benefit from this 200% damage increase when it comes to Perk Breaker. So it's something that is going to diverse things, to be honest. So we're going to see how much Alex Warren really wants to see on how Perk Breaker actually does when it comes to, you know, content in general, and just to see if people like it or not. So it's just basically like a testing grounds when it comes to Perk Breaker. But honestly, overall, from the theme, especially what they're trying to do with the gear, especially with the distorted gear, with when it comes to Sonic, I think it's Sonic Conduit, and like how it can actually benefit from actually, you know, doing the buff for Sonic Conduit to other heroes. They get you know, buffs from it, or a gear perk that could benefit you. I like the fact that they're doing this. It's opening up more bridges to like teamwork and all that. I like the new additions that they're doing for hero specific gear. I like the perks, the status perk that they're doing, where you can do multiple statuses for one type of melee attack or ranged attack. It's pretty nice. And yeah, with the vibranium leak or status leak, it's gonna be pretty insane to test out. And the Perk Breaker is gonna be something interesting to see as well. So yeah, just a basic overall theme for distorting gear is teamwork. Alex wants to bring in more teamwork elements into Avengers, which is going to be very nice, because that's honestly what Avengers is missing. Is missing a team theme type gear, and just overall teamwork in general, since this game right now wise is just basically just a DPS check. So I'm glad that Alex is working on the gear. It sounds pretty interesting to see on how it's going to work. He did state when it comes to Elite is going to require some of these when it comes to the leaks, not leaks, but the status leak, and you know, just some of the Sonic Conduit and all that good stuff. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I explained a lot, so you know, if you're confused, you know, just watch the video back if you guys are confused about it. Hopefully I explained it well enough for you guys so you guys can understand it. This is a long video already, so yeah, I don't want to take up you guys' time. This is in today's video. If you guys are going to enjoy it, you guys liked it, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well, so that miss the video, and also be notified when I upload a video. And most importantly, make sure you guys hit that like button. Now, of course, I do have a Discord. If you guys join that, the link is below for that one. We talk about everything, to be honest, so if you guys want to join that, the link is below. Also, I do live stream on Twitch. If you guys want to come out to the Twitch streams, the link is below for that one as well. Also, I do have memberships. If you guys want to know more information about that, the link is below for the memberships. I want to give a quick shout out to the elite members and the rookie members. I greatly appreciate it. But yeah, without further ado, that's the end of today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm gone. Peace.